So last time we discussed which question? Question number 4. Did I give you a theory of horizontal slits? I did not? Okay. So let's continue our discussion on wave optics. And this is lecture number 6. Yes? And we have discussed question number 4. I did it on board, na? दोनों पार्ट किया था ठीक है let it be. So let's start with what if the slits are horizontal. If I have this possibility, then what happens? We have been talking about vertical slits, and when I say vertical slits, I mean this, that I have two slits here and there's a screen here, and let's say this is slit 1 and slit 2, and the distance between these two is capital D, and this is my center line, and there will be a point P which is subtended by this angle. So these two will meet there, point P, the distance is small y, this is O, the distance between the slits is small d. And if you remember, we had this kind of setup, and then we used to find what was the path difference between two waves. This is the normal setup, na? And the path difference, we used to drop a perpendicular, and then we used to say, since capital D is much greater than small d, so these two rays are very, very close to each other and can be considered as parallel rays. Yes? So the only difference in path is this. And what we used to find, this was theta, and if this was theta, then what was this length? D sine theta, and that was delta x. But now what if we have this situation where the slits are like this, and there is a screen here. This is the situation now, and let's say this is slit S1, this is slit S2. The distance between two slits is again small d, and the distance from the center is capital D. Two rays will meet. So let's say this is the point at which they are going to meet, and this is subtending an angle theta with the horizontal, not with the center line. You remember, in the vertical slits it was with the center line. Now this is with the horizontal. Good. So rays will go from here, not the best of it, तो यहाँ से ही करते हैं. Let's say the rays will go from here, meets here, and one of them meets here. Then what is the path difference between these two rays now? What should be the path difference? What was our procedure in doing this? Drop a perpendicular. And then find the length. What should we do here then? Again the same thing, drop a perpendicular, and now this is my path difference, delta x. Let me redraw the diagram. So this is my perpendicular, this is what you want to find, delta x, and this length is given to be small d, na? And now you have to determine what should be the angle theta. Should it be this angle or this angle?
The left one.
Why the left one?
Because those are parallel.
Those two are approximately parallel, na? These two, they are going to be very, very close to each other. So if they are parallel, so this is also theta. If that is theta, this is theta, then which trigonometric identity helps? Cos theta. And then what is this delta x equal to? Should be d cos theta. And now this is my condition of the path difference for a situation where the slits are horizontal. What was the condition here? Delta x was d sine theta. And for here, what was the condition on maxima then? For maxima, what was the condition? That d sine theta has to be equal to what? has to be equal to n lambda. Then can you see that there is a restriction on the sine theta? What is the restriction? From where to where it can go? What is the max possible value of sine theta? 1. So sine theta can't be greater than 1. It's always less than or equal to 1. Acha, when will this sine theta be equal to 1?
At 90 degree.
At 90 degree. Now imagine this situation. 90 degree corresponds to what? Are you even on the screen? ये theta equal to 90 degree है ना ये? Are you on the screen? So should we consider that possibility? No. I should strictly write then that sine theta is going to be less than 1. If sine theta is going to be less than 1, then what is the restriction on n? What is the restriction on n? Can you see that sine theta is equal to n lambda by d, and this has to be less than 1, and that means n has to be less than d by lambda. And this gives me कि given a setup, how many maximas will form on the screen? This is a way in which you can find the number of maximas formed on the screen. So you can't just predict कि maybe there will be millions or maybe uncountable. You can actually count it using this condition. So these are the number of possible maximas. Number of maximas, restriction. Do you get it? Yes? And now, what will be the condition here then? What is the max possible value of cos theta?
Same one.
Same one. So what should be the restriction here?
Cos theta less than or equal to 1.
Basically, you will get the same condition again. Yes or no? So what should be the condition then? N is less than d by lambda, and this gives me the restriction on number of maximas. But now a very interesting thing occurs, that if you have sine theta, then can you see from this equation that sine theta is equal to n lambda by d. For a given experiment, lambda and d are constants, and theta is a variable on the screen, and n gives you the corresponding values. Sine theta goes like what in 0 to 90?
Increase.
Yes?
Decrease.
It's a decreasing function.
Increasing function.
It's an increasing function, na? From 0 to 90 degree, it's an increasing function. If this is going to be an increasing function, that means n is also an increasing value. Yes or no? That's why we say, as you go away from the theta equal to 0 position, as you keep on going away, your n value actually increases. Yes? And so on. Because it depends on sine theta. And sine theta is an increasing function, so n is also an increasing value. What about here? What about here? If I write the condition, what should be the condition on maxima? What is the condition on maxima? Batao. D cos theta should be equal to n lambda, and then cos theta is equal to n lambda by d. But now how does the cos go? It's a decreasing function. So that means as you go away from theta equal to 0 value, your n value decreases. Yes or no? So what is the value which is closer to n theta equal to 0? This position. The value which is closer to theta equal to 0 is the maximum possible value, n max. And as you keep on going away, your value keeps on decreasing. This is n max minus 1, this is n max minus 2, and you keep on going until you hit 0. So it's counting in the opposite direction. You can imagine that this n max is maybe 10 or 14. So it will go like 14, 13, 12, 11, 10 like that. Do you understand the difference between the horizontal slit experiment and the vertical slit experiment? Is there any problem? Then copy.
Sir, maybe it should be 2 and 1, right?
What?
It should be 2 and 1.
2 and 1, what do you mean?
Like n max equal to 1 and max equal to 2, it should be the reciprocal of that, right? Because if it is 1, 2, 3, 4, it never hits 0.
Is n max
Obviously it hits 0. N max is a number.
There is minus 1.
This -1, what do you mean?
he thought it was equal to
No, idiot. N max -1, N max -2, and keep on going. Is it okay with you? So it's very interesting to see that N max is the number which is closer to O, but here N min is the number which is closer to O. And min is the 1 basically, since they are all integers. And now if you are done with this, then tell me. We can go ahead with the question number 5. Scroll.
There is nothing is given, 6 are considered to be vertical, right?
Obviously some situation will be given to you. I will draw the situations, don't worry about it. Question number 5 ka diagram I have to give. So if you're done with it, then tell me. Done with the diagrams at least? Everyone? Please write everything, huh? Don't leave anything out. Write everything that I've written on board. So let's come back to sheet. And this is question number 5, na? So let me draw the setup of question number 5. It's something like this. This is given. Now attempt. I am giving you 3-4 minutes. Attempt the A part. बोलो.
Is it 11?
11 what?
11 maximum.
11 max. How many number of minimas? Count. 11 maximas is correct, I think. बोलो 5 minimas. Incorrect. I'm waiting 2-3 minutes more. Incorrect. बोलो 11 maxima, 10 minima incorrect. 11 maxima is correct. Should I start with the question? 11 minima is incorrect.
So 12 minimum.
12 minima is correct. Should I start? Okay then. They have asked ki how many maximas will be formed and how many minimas will be formed, na? So what is the restriction on number of maximas? For maximas, the restriction is n has to be less than d by lambda. क्या? हाँ वही है, n has to be less than d by. What is d given to be in the question? 6 lambda. So that means it has to be less than 6. So I will take into consideration both up and down wale. So there will be plus minus. Firstly there will be n equal to 0, that will be the central maxima. Then there will be plus minus 1, plus minus 2, plus minus 3, plus minus 4 and plus minus 5. All these numbers are less than mod of n is less than 6, whatever. I am counting the upper and the lower maximas as well. How many number then? 2, 2, 4, 6, 2, 8, 10, 11. Total 11 maximas. Yes? How many number of minimas now? What was the condition on minima? For minima, what was the condition? That d sine theta should be equal to n plus half lambda, right? Let me call it m lambda. And then m will take all the values that n can take. So n can take 0 and then what will be m? Plus minus half. Plus minus half. When n equal to 1, it will be plus minus 1.5. N equal to 2, plus minus 2.5. And then you keep on going until your final n. So what should be the condition on m? Plus minus 0.5. Plus minus 1.5, 2.5, 3.5, 4.5, and then what is the final value of n that you can take? 5. So if I write 5, this will become 5.5 and then up and down plus or minus 5.5. Did you understand how I wrote this? Based on the restriction on n, I am finding a restriction on m. Why is there a plus minus? I am taking consideration upper wale and lower wale as well. That's why plus minus. So when n equal to 0, you find 0.5. From this? Yes or no? When n equal to 0, you will find 0.5. When n equal to 1, you will find 1.5. But then take plus or minus. And then keep on going until 5 आया, जो maximum है इसका. And then you will find 5.5. And then how many number of minimas? 2, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14. नहीं 2, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. 12. So 12 minimas. There are 12 minimas in the question. Can you attempt the B part of the question? Attempt. I am giving you still time.
0,1
Incorrect. M is equal to n plus half. I should write it somewhere. Is there anybody who did not understand this? समझा? Yes. 3i? नहीं समझ आ रहा है क्या बोल रहे हैं मुझे.
3 and minus 3.
3 and minus 3 incorrect.
Sir,
बोलो.
plus minus d by 2.
D by 2 incorrect. When you are doing this plus minus d by 2 wala, then you are assuming small angle ना. Check is there small angle है small है या फिर बड़ा है. Did you find theta? Check करो पहले before applying the formula. Your answer will be up to D at least, capital D, because capital D is not mentioned. D by? Incorrect.
Sir, the coordinate distribution is 0, plus root 3d and 0, minus root 3d.
Incorrect.
Equation of the phase difference, and then we equate that to plus or minus 3.
I don't know. If I am going to explain, then I'll explain on board. Until then, you use your head. Yes, what is the angle that you are getting?
60 degrees.
What is the angle? Incorrect. Let me do the B part as well. I think they are asking us to find what? The third order maxima ना? Third order maxima का position निकालना है. तो for finding the nth order maxima condition, what was the nth order maxima का position? What was position? What was it? Yn is equal to n lambda capital D by small d na? But if you remember, when I was doing the derivation and I found this result, I was assuming that sine theta is approximately tan theta. You remember? And then I found this expression. And this is only true when theta is small. First of all, check is the theta small or not. What is the theta? Let's see that. And how do you find theta? You apply this d sine theta equal to n lambda wala condition, the generic condition. And the condition is d sine theta n lambda, n की जगह पे क्या डालूँ, 3 या 4, what? 3, because n equal to 0 corresponds to central maxima, n equal to 3 corresponds to third maxima. Yes? तो 3 lambda, तो ये हो जाएगा.
Here should we take d cos theta?
Why d cos theta?
Because this is the horizontal वाला case.
ये horizontal है. It should be d sin theta equal to 3 lambda, and then sin theta is equal to 3 lambda by d. What is d? 6 lambda. So this will be half. And then what is theta? 30 या फिर pi by 6. And at best you can approximate it to be 0.5 radians. That is not small enough. That's not small enough. So you can't say that you can't do this approximation. Then you do this generic form. And what was the generic form? Now that you know the theta, how to find the y? Use trigonometry. It would be tan theta. So this is wrong. Then you apply y is equal to d tan theta and d tan 30, and that will be what? D by root 3. But there are two maximas, so plus or minus 1 d by root 3. Do you understand why this formula can't be applied? That's 30 degrees. That's not a small angle. Only in small angle approximation can I use that formula. If you were to use that formula, then you will get plus or minus d by 2. But that's not correct. Remember, it does not matter what kind of it does not matter if there is approximation existing in the question or not. This is the generic form, and the general form in which you can find the thing. You can do simplifications if there are theta is small. You can do this only if theta is small. Otherwise, this is general form. Right? Find the theta, substitute in tan theta, and then find y equal to d tan theta. Copy. No. I will make the diagram again. Yes, understanding? Why are you not writing? Number of maximas? लिखो लिखो जल्दी जल्दी लिखो. Is the A part written by everyone? Written? Then I am making the diagram of the second question. And not the second question. Sixth question. And the diagram is given like this. This is mentioned, and now attempt. Let me check कि और कुछ तो नहीं है. Yes, this is it. Attempt the question. Seven maxima? I think that's correct. That's correct. Good. And now can you see a pattern that the number of maximas are always odd and the number of minimas are always even? And why is that odd? Because there is a central maxima, and that makes the whole thing odd. Yes. Yes, how many maximas?
7.
Minimas? Then do the second part of the question. लो extra sheet लो. Anyone needs one sheet? Write name at the top of the sheet. नाम लिखो नाम. Can somebody tell me the answer of B part? Incorrect. I'm giving you time this time. It's exactly the way in which we did the last question. बोलो.
इधर हमने ट्री लाना
क्या क्वेश्चन में क्या दिया है बताओ.
ट्रू कोऑर्डिनेट्स करेक्ट
क्वेश्चन नंबर 5 पढ़ो बेटा. 5 का था वो सोल्यूशन.
यही 5 का
जो 5 हाँ पढ़ो.
हां डिटरमाइन द टू कोऑर्डिनेट्स करेस्पॉन्डिंग टू द थर्ड ऑर्डर मैक्सिमम.
तो थर्ड का मतलब क्या होता है? डी बाई इनकरेक्ट. एनीबडी एल्स? Should I start? बोलो. प्लस माइनस? इनकरेक्ट.
That is a root 60
Incorrect. Incorrect. Yes. बोलो.
This is what 0 plus minus d 3 root 55 by 8.
Incorrect.
plus minus root 63.
Incorrect. Please remember, in the question they have mentioned nearest to O. Nearest to O. That's a big hint.
Root 63 d is where
Incorrect.
If you take n equal to 0.
N equal to
0.
नियरेस्ट टू ओ के लिए कुछ भी बोलता है. मिनिमम एम बी इक्वल टू 1. I don't know, you tell me. क्या करें? Should I start? ठीक है, I'm waiting 1-2 minutes more and 12:37 पे we will start. कितना? 9. Incorrect. क्या 0? क्या बोलना चाहता है ये? पहली बात तो मिनिमम में बात हो रही है. हाउ आर यू गेटिंग एनीथिंग टू बी 0? आई डोंट नो. I just discussed the theory. It's not like कि 10 दिन पहले बताया था.
Yes, so what?
पता नहीं बेटा. 1 मिनट और रुक रहा हूँ फिर चालू करूँगा. खुद सोचो थोड़ा. क्या है?
Plus minus d root 7/3.
D root 7/3. Incorrect. कितना? ना बोलो. नहीं. थ्री डी इट्स नॉट दैट हार्ड जितना तुम लोग ने मन में बना लिया है, पता नहीं क्यों. Okay then, I am starting with the question. What is asked in the question? The total number of maximas and minimas on the screen. And for that, what do I have to find? बताओ. N has to be less than d by lambda, na? What is d mentioned to be? 4 lambda. So this has to be less than 4. And then what are the possible maxima? 0, plus minus 1, plus minus 2, plus minus 3. Yes?
Undefined.
No, incorrect. So 7 maximas, right? If 7 maximas, then what was the condition on m? M was equal to n plus half. So then what are the values of m? Plus minus 0.5. Plus minus 1.5, plus minus 2.5, and then the last will be on this, na? Plus minus 3.5. Then how many minimas? 8 minimas. Good. Now what is asked in the B part of the question? They are asking what are the coordinates, the y coordinates corresponding to minima nearest to O. What kind of experiment this is? Horizontal slit. Root 15 by 17. Are you saying plus or minus root 15 d by 7? Yeah, that's correct. Very good. So this is the correct answer. Let's try to find it. I just told you that if you have a horizontal slit experiment, then the minima which is closest to you will be having the n max. N max. And what is the n max of the minima here? N equal to 3 corresponds to that, na? N equal to 3. So what is the closest possible thing? N equal to 3. Not n equal to 1. N equal to 3. And if n equal to 3, then what was? So for finding y, I will do this, huh? D tan theta. But for this, I need to find theta, so I will use this. What should I write? D sin theta or D cos theta? D cos theta should be equal to 3 lambda. Are you understanding why I am putting n equal to 3? That n equal to 3 is the maximum possible value of n, and in this experiment, what is closest to O? N max is closest to O. Not n min. So then I will put n equal to 3 and then cos theta will be equal to 3 lambda by d, but then this will be 3 by 4, na, I think. D is equal to 4. Is this correct? So then what should be theta? ये correct ही है ना? No. It should be हाँ 3 plus half lambda. 3 plus half lambda because they are talking about minima. So this should be 3.5 lambda and this cos theta will be equal to 3.5 lambda divided by 4 lambda. Thus 35 by 40 क्या? And 35 by 40 can be reduced 7 by 8. So cos theta equal to 7 by 8. Then what is tan theta? What is tan theta? ये 7, ये 8, तो ये √15. तो बताओ tan theta कितना होएगा? Tan theta is equal to √15 by 7, I think. And then y is equal to d tan theta, na? Plus or minus d tan theta, and that will be plus or minus d √15 by 7. And this is the correct answer. You can equally write, by the way, you can equally write it like this, that theta is equal to cos inverse of 7 by 8 and then y is equal to plus or minus d tan of cos inverse of 7 by 8. In the book they have mentioned like this, but obviously you can do it like this as well. Do you understand? I just told you the theory. Anyways, if you are done with this, then tell me so that I can make the diagram of the next question. बोलो, done? क्या बोल रहे हो? अच्छा. How many of you are still writing? I am waiting 1 minute, then I will go forward. हाथ चलाओ जल्दी जल्दी. Understanding, Swanan? This was my B part of the question. Understood?
I did that method. I didn't take 3 plus 1 by 2 lambda. I took 3 lambda right.
अच्छा, इट्स अ मिनिमा ना, मिनिमा के लिए n प्लस हाफ होता है. तो let me draw the diagram of this seventh question ना. I think sixth are done. So question number 7. This is very interesting. Now we have a question like this. We have been having plain surfaces for the screen. Now I have a circular surface. This is my center. This is my S2 source. This is my S1 source. The distance between them is d, and this is angle theta. Now tell me how many maxima, how many minima. Can you imagine what the situation is? You have a circular sheet and उसके बीच में 2 source बैठे हुए. And now find me all the possible maximas.
So the circle acts like a screen now.
हाँ, the circle acts like a screen. Could be a foil, ऐसे सोच सकते हो.
What is the theta sir? This angle between
Angle with this horizontal slit and that.
With the maximum sum of the values of pi.
What?
With the maximum sum of the values of pi.
पाई? नहीं, मुझे नहीं पता बेटा, कुछ भी नहीं पता. मैंने क्वेश्चन दे दिया, आगे तुम सोचो. ये थर्ड बेंच दोनों ना. एक और बार बात करते हुए देखो, फिर दोनों, नहीं मैं बोल रहा हूँ एक और बार दिख जाओ, और उसके बाद या तो नीचे बैठोगे या तो क्लास के बाहर। Attempt. बोलो 67 मैक्सिमम, इनकरेक्ट, कुछ ज़्यादा हो गया,
Sir, 7 maximum.
इनकरेक्ट,
Sir, 9 maximum.
इनकरेक्ट, सोचो सोचो,
Sir, 2 maximum.
इनकरेक्ट, How many maximas? Incorrect. Anybody else?
Sir, theoretically, when is the maximum form?
I don't know. When the condition of maxima is satisfied.
But we don't know that.
You don't know that.
Sir, 11 minimum.
11 मिनिमास नहीं ढूंढना है, मैक्सिमास ढूंढना है। बच्चे क्वेश्चन आंसर ही अजीब अजीब दे रहे, बताओ। क्या करें? शुड आई स्टार्ट? हाउ मेनी मैक्सिमास? इनकरेक्ट,
4.
इनकरेक्ट, बहुत टाइम है अभी। जाओ फिर, कौन मना किया? जाओ। हाँ, इनकरेक्ट, 3 मैक्सिमस, इनकरेक्ट, No maximas. Incorrect.
You literally said all natural numbers.
No, you did not. Anybody else? हाँ, डेसिमल नंबर ऑफ मैक्सिमा. अब कोई बोलेगा नेगेटिव नंबर ऑफ मैक्सिमा. कुछ भी है नहीं, गेस करने के लिए कुछ भी कर दो. मैं इनकरेक्ट. Incorrect.
There's something to do with the screen.
Yes, there is something. That's why I gave you a screen. Socho. How many number of maximas? Okay then. Should I start? Last guess. नहीं बोलो. नहीं, अच्छा ठीक है. Incorrect. और कुछ गेस करना है? No. Let's start. What is this situation looking like? See, these are two sources separated by this distance and whatever, and now you can imagine that this whole thing, this circle, are just part of two. Can you open this like this and then open this like this, and this will just be a plain thing? So whatever are the number of maximas which are formed on this plane screen is the same number of maximas formed on this screen. Yes or no? They will be formed somewhere on the screen, na? So what is the number of maxima? It follows this condition, na? D by lambda. But what is D given to be? 3.4 lambda. So this will be what? N has to be less than 3.4. So N can take value 0, plus minus 1, plus minus 2, plus minus 3. So how many maximas? 7 maximas. But then aren't the number of maximas created here as well? Huh? So if there are 7 maximas in the up, then how many maximas should be on the down? 7 again, and then in total how many maximas? 14. That's it. It was that simple. So in total, maximas. हाँ, तुमने 15 भी बोला, 16 भी बोला, लेकिन 14 नहीं बोला. मिनिमास में कुछ नहीं बोलता अभी. Did you understand? It was that simple. And just for fun, can somebody tell me? Let me give you 4 points. यहाँ, and वहाँ. Out of these 4 points, will there be a maxima or not?
Yes.
In all those 4 points?
No, only 1 point.
Only at 1 point? Only at 2. There should be a top. Why top? That will be the 0th maxima. है ना? There will be phase difference 0. Both of them will reach at the same. Huh? What about this? That is no maxima, because if you consider this to be a vertical slit experiment, as a slit in front of this thing, then that will correspond to theta equal to 90 degree. And there is no maxima at theta equal to 90 degree. Yes? So इधर कोई maxima नहीं है. But there is a maxima here and a maxima here. So how should the maximas be formed then? Somewhere like this. So there is a maxima here, here, here and here. 3 इधर. Total 7, and then the exact same image here. You remember that the distance between two maxima should be even, na? It should be exactly same, constant. So these are n equal to 0, n equal to 1, n equal to 2, n equal to 3, n equal to minus 1, minus 2, minus 3, and then you can do the same on the downwards. That was a very simple question. Look at the B part. And now I have to do the B part. Can you try the B part? Or should I just do it? Try karo. Why do you want to assume?
Cos theta equal to 3 by 3.3 I'm getting. 3 by 3.4.
So?
For mathematical simplification I'll do it 3.1.
No, why? Idiot hai kya? Let it be like the way it is and then just give me a final answer.
To square it, sir.
Why?
For getting tan theta.
क्या idiot है? बताओ. I don't think they have mentioned to find the y. I think they have mentioned to find the angular position, I think. Angular position. Cos inverse? That's correct. Anybody else with the answer? Yes. So since it will follow, so you are making angle with respect to what? With respect to the horizontal slits, na? Then what formula should you apply? D cos theta or D sin theta? Cos theta. So D cos theta should be equal to what? What they have mentioned? 3 lambda, because it's the third order, na? So then cos theta will be equal to 3 lambda by 3.4 lambda, and that's just 3 by 3.4. This can be simplified further, 30 by 34, and that's something like 15 by 17, kya? And then what is theta? Cos inverse of 15 by 17. That's just one angle, but there are all these 4 positions as well, na? So you keep on finding those positions as well. Good. Bolo. Minus what? अब वो तुम सोचो, मैं नहीं बता रहा, ठीक है? You attempt. That's question number 7. बोलो. रुक जाओ, बोलो.
You said that we like first make this rod straight and then we bend it, right? And the things are going to be the same. But there is a chance that there's a ray which is going like this, which is not intersecting with this, but as this comes down, it's going to intersect with this.
I understand your point, but just for imagination, I gave you that point of view. Ki maybe that will be like this.
So how are we applying the same conditions in both the cases if it's not how that happens?
If you place it here, see, does it matter where you are placing in the? If it is going to be formed here, it will still be formed here, na?
I'm not. Yeah, it will, but I'm saying that there's a possibility of there being more maximas than what can be only.
No. Why?
Because there are rays which are not going with the rod over here, which are out of the, like, what do you call it, the field of this rod. But as you increase the curvature, they might coincide. And
No, I don't think so.
There is a possibility.
You have this thing, and now you are just putting it like this. Whatever image is formed here, that image, क्या होएगा वो image में? Maybe it will get shifted, but image will still be formed, na?
It will be formed, but I'm saying there will be more images formed.
No, I don't think so.
Think of it like this. This is source over here. It's giving out light in all directions.
Ah.
Now this is over here.
हाँ.
But as I curve it, there's one way which is going like this, but now it's intersecting with this point, so it's creating a maximum.
ये S2 है, ये S1 है. They should meet somewhere such that this should be something like d whatever, cos theta, sin theta, whatever. Should meet here, na? See, does it matter if I put it here or here or here or here? This length, is this changing? That's not changing. So this is the only thing that matters, na?
Yes.
That it matters, and that will give the maxima at all these points.
Yeah. So as you said.
If I keep on having bigger and bigger circles, I will still get the same maxima.
Yeah. Yes, we will.
So at infinity, what will that circle look like? So,
See, you're saying that there's a ray over here, right? I'm
Ah.
saying there's also a ray over here. Which
Ah.
will not be in the into
I know that. That's why I did not form any kind of maxima there. Yes. Now that you have a good understanding of this, let's switch it up and then let's go. Why not have a mirror? है ना? Why not have a mirror and then let's do things. Where's my pen? So let's have a situation. Let's have a situation कि what if, ये मुझे बैकग्राउंड ना इसमें बिल्कुल भी नहीं पसंद है. What if there is a mirror? What will happen then? So now I will not even consider two real sources. I will create one virtual source. And then let's do things. So let's say there is a mirror here. And there is a screen here. There is a source here. And let's call it source S1. This is a real source. Okay. And let's consider extreme rays. And what will those extreme rays correspond to? This ray. Which will go like this, and there will be this ray which will go like this, and if I extend them backwards, what will I get? I will get an S2 which should be exactly like this. Yes, and I am making dashed lines, so they are not real. Good. Will this now understand this? This S1 will give off rays. इसको कोई चुप कराओ, इसके ऊपर टेप लगा दो मुंह के ऊपर. S1 will give off rays in all possible directions. Yes or no? What about this S2? What can this S2 give off rays? Can it give off rays in this direction? No. S2 is created only based on these two extreme rays. It can only give off rays where the mirror is. है ना? So it can give off rays maybe in this region, but outside this, can it give off rays? No. So where will you find the interference pattern? See, interference will only be created when there are two sources. So let's say I have one ray which is going like this, goes like this, and let's take that to be coming out from S2, and this is one ray which is going straight directly, and that will meet and create some kind of interference pattern. है ना? And why will it create an interference pattern? Now understand this, कि when this ray gets reflected from this mirror, what happens to this ray? What happens to this ray when it gets reflected from this mirror? Does nothing happen? Under reflection, what happens? Nothing happens. Reflection. Nothing happens then. This mirror, what is it made up of? Some kind of glass. Your air, this is an air medium. It's going from a air to a glass medium and then it reflects. So a rarer to denser, what happens then? Phase reversal by pi radians. ये भूल गए क्या? अभी ये कल परसों ही तो बताया ना मैंने, कितने बार बात की है कि when you go from a denser to a rarer medium, from a rarer to a denser medium, what happens? A phase reversal of pi radians. So this ray or this ray, whatever is from the reflected, that is out of phase by pi radians. Then what is the phase difference between rays coming from S1 and rays coming from S2? They are out of phase by pi radians? Yes or no? Because the rays coming from S2 have reflected. And when you do reflect, you have a phase reversal of pi radians. So that means, what should be the conditions of maxima and minima now? What should be the conditions of maxima and minima now? Should they be the same? What should happen? They get interchanged. Because there is already a phase reversal of pi radians, and I have already discussed this theory when I was talking about thin films. When there was only one thin film and there was a reversal of pi, and if there is a reversal of pi, then the condition on maxima becomes delta x should be equal to n plus half lambda. You remember I have discussed these things earlier. And what about condition on minima? That will be delta x will be equal to n lambda. Yes? And n goes from 0, 1, 2, 3 and so on. Doesn't it I have told you these things, right? If there is a phase difference of between two rays of pi radians already, then the conditions gets interchanged. Yes or no? Good. So anyways, so the ray reflected from mirror undergoes a phase reversal of pi radians. Yes, then the phase difference between rays coming from S1 and S2 is already pi radians, and that's why the conditions gets interchanged. Do you understand this? How many of you don't understand it? Do you understand that there will be a phase reversal? Do you understand that under phase reversal the conditions gets interchanged? बस वही लिखा है मैंने, और कुछ भी नहीं लिखा है. And now tell me this, in what parts will you find really an interference pattern? Let me make this to be O and let's call it RQ. Where will you find an interference pattern? You can only find interference pattern between this RQ. Why? Because only in that region can your S2 give off rays. An interference pattern is only created when two rays meet. This S1 can give off rays in all possible directions, but this S2 is limited to this region. What is this RQ called, by the way? What is RQ called? That's why you should revise. That's called field of view. RQ is called the field of view. the only region where air interference pattern will be observed. Do you understand? कॉपी करो फिर जल्दी जल्दी. ये मेरी रेज अच्छी भी नहीं है. बोलो.
Why don't we use Huygens principle for drawing such diagrams? We used to use rays for our convenience, right? But won't be applicable everywhere, right?
Yes, obviously Huygens principle will be applied here. In general, actually, you should make waves. But making waves, I don't think that will.
Still look bad, but like,
हाँ
generally we can like
हाँ वो बनाना चाहिए वो. मैं समझ रहा हूँ तुम्हारी बात. But it's much more simpler geometrically. If I make rays, then imagining geometrically is much more simpler. And most of the questions when you have a mirror will be geometrical. बोलो.
सर आपने नॉर्मली जनरल स्टेटमेंट दिया कि मैक्सिमस ऑड होता है और मिनिमस.
हाँ इधर इवन निकल के आ रहा है सर्कल में.
वही थी.
वो चलो मैं स्टेटमेंट सिर्फ प्लेन के बोलता हूँ. देखो पहली बात तो इधर 7 तो मिल रहा है. ये ऑड है कि नहीं है?
ऑड है.
अब तुमने दूसरा लगा दिया तो मेरी
पर
क्या
हम
गलती?
पूरा सर्कल किया है.
पूरा सर्कल अगर तुम एक ही लोगे तो फिर 7 आ रहा है, बराबर है. ऑड आया कि नहीं आया? अब वो तुम 2 से मल्टीप्लाई कर रहे हो तो अब 2 स्क्रीन लगाओगे तो फिर सेम हर जगह तो सेम नहीं देते हैं. ऑड प्लस ऑड इज स्टिल इवन ना. बस फिर यस इज दिस डन. चलो जल्दी जल्दी मुझे एक क्वेश्चन भी देना है तुम लोग को. ये कैसे नोट्स बनाए बेटा?
sir, actually my favorite note is this.
तो ये टाइम पास नोट्स है ये.
नहीं ये इसमें क्वेश्चन रहता है, इसमें सिर्फ कॉन्सेप्ट होता है.
अच्छा क्वेश्चंस के लिए अलग, कॉन्सेप्ट के लिए अलग.
आई मेक अ शॉर्ट नोट लाइक दिस.
पूरी दुनिया की पेड़ यही ख़त्म कर रहे हैं. बोलो.
ये फर्स्ट ईयर का है ये लर्निंग नोट.
वाह.
सेकेंड ईयर का है ये प्रतीक सर का पार्ट था फर्स्ट ईयर में, और अभी इधर प्रतीक सर का सेकेंड ईयर पार्ट है.
वेरी गुड.
यू ओनली सेड सर टू मेंटेन वन बुक.
हाँ हाँ नहीं सही है. Can I make the diagram of the second question then? नीचे नहीं आ रहा है. गंदा है डायग्राम, गंदा है. मेरे जैसे बनाओ, एग्जैक्ट नीचे है. Can I write the diagram? Can I draw the diagram? So now we are at question number 8, na? अच्छा मैं हर बार वो स्विच ऑफ वीडियो बोलता हूँ, क्या बोलना चाहिए? अप्रोप्रिएट इंग्लिश क्या है? टर्न ऑफ द वीडियो. अच्छा ठीक है, आज वो बोल देंगे. नहीं आती है इंग्लिश, बहुत कम आती है मुझे. क्या बोला? This is 1 millimeter. Acha, I forgot to tell you, but this distance should be equal to this distance. Na? I will generally call it d by 2 and this to be d by 2 again, and this distance is capital D. Is it okay? And this is my y. Hopefully that is okay. So now DC mirror this is given in the question, and now take it as a homework, since I don't think you will be able to solve it in 4 minutes, but if you want you can try. It's actually very simple. This is the diagram at hand, and now attempt. I'm still giving you 4 minutes. I will not discuss the solution today, but if you can give me an answer today, that's good. Should I give you a hint? No? Okay.
There 1 centimeter is 10 millimeters or 100 millimeters.
What?
1 centimeter is 10 millimeters or 100 millimeters.
1 centimeter is how many millimeters? 1 centimeter is 10 power minus 2 meters. That's 10 millimeter. बोलो. पता नहीं. Are you giving me an answer? Incorrect. बताओ बताओ, मुझे भी बताओ. क्या बोल रहा है? बड़े अजीब लोग हैं यार तुम लोग. Okay, then take the break. You can switch off this video, turn off this video.